and his hands reached down, where they shouldn't be. He was invading every part of me. A feeling of nausea. And he whispered in my ear, "Don't struggle. It's only making it worse." His voice like a saw, turning through my mind, shredding everything beautiful and tearing down all resistance. Over and over he whispered, "Don't struggle. Don't struggle." Until I surrendered. Then there was a feeling of beauty, as everything I had been began to disintegrate and was reformed into a crucible of terror. "Of course you want to see me, don't you? Don't be afraid to look. The place I occupy is not so different to yours. We're all together in the light, and shall be when we're gone." In the beginning, things were going well. I graduated with a first-class honours in English, and I began working in theatre. I took a job in media alongside, managing social content for a charity. Between the two jobs, I was happy and could keep the wolves away. I had a friend called Carla, who was brilliant at reading my mind. Carla always knew if I was happy or sad, or if I was hiding something. Carla was a writer, and she always said one day she would write me into one of her plays, and it would be her best work. And I believed. I believed everything Carla said. Carla was the best thing in my life. Even better than my first-class honours. I only have a short time. I'm waiting here to go on or be sent back. The choice is mine. What I want to say to you is, could you love somebody enough, so much, without reservation, that piece by piece and little by little they took you further and further away from everything you held dear, until eventually you had moved so far out of your own personal boundaries that... Carla was living with me now. She was a struggling writer. I paid all the rent. It was easy with my job in theatre and with the charity. Carla worked hard. She was always working. She was genuine and authentic. I would leave in the morning, and when I returned in the evening, I would sit down with Carla and go through her work. Carla wasn't a pretender, and I believed in the work. I really, really believed. But there was a catch. Carla was secretive. She didn't want any favours from my theatre friends, and she didn't want any charity. She made me swear. She made me promise that I would never mention her until she had something really good to show people, something that was so real, nobody could doubt it, and she would be seen on her own terms. I was reluctant and very keen to show her off, and told her so. Carla withdrew, and for nearly a month there was no sharing in the evenings. Eventually I relented. I would keep Carla a secret, and we started sharing again. A few months later, Carla said she had written something I could show the literary team. I was thrilled. At last, I could really help. Carla insisted that she enter the play under a pseudonym. I had no hesitation in agreeing. "What play would it be?" I asked. "It's a special play," she said, which she had not shown to anybody. Not even me. "Not even me?" I asked. "No," she said. "It's better you don't know about it." Carla asked how long it would be until the theatre read the play, and I told her to wait for 6 months. And those 6 months were the happiest of my life. Carla was so kind, so considerate, and she promised me that when the result came through, we could finally have people round for dinner. It didn't matter that she hadn't shown me the play. It was all going so well, so smoothly. Every once in a while, I would be sad. Carla would ask why. And I would say I had no idea it was possible to be this happy. And would it last? Carla would simply smile and say, "We should enjoy where we are and not think about the past or worry about the future." Carla was my everlasting present. One evening, I came home from the theatre in a state of anxiety. Carla was straight on to me. What was the matter? I made Carla soup for dinner, and we sat down and I tried to explain, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Carla pressed me, and eventually I told her. The literary department had been getting mails and phone calls all day. The system had been hacked, and had been sending out emails to writers, agents, and all sorts on their lists. Carla said that happens, and not to worry about it. I told her I'd been asked about it, and Carla looked at me. "Why would they ask you about it?" "I don't know," I told her. Carla said not to worry, and everything would work out for the best. Then she told me she had received an email from the literary department, but they had passed on the script. "When?" I asked. "A week ago today," she said. You get sick, don't you? People getting between you and the one you love. Why can't they keep their noses out? They want to get in the way. They pretend it's concern, admiration, even respect. They'll say anything to get between you and the one you love, nosy bastards, meddlers, splitters. It was the weekend. Carla was away. It was unusual because she hadn't said she was going, and we like to watch movies on a Sunday. There's a knock on the door. I answer. It's Sam from work, the charity. She smiles, but I can see she's nervous. "Can I come in?" I make a mistake and invite her in. Sam looks around while I make the tea. She opens the cupboards and stares. I ask her what's wrong. She asks me why I arrange all the groceries in blocks of colour. "That's the way Carla likes it," I say. "Oh, shit." I said it. I said Carla's name. Sam asks me who Carla is. I don't answer. I just place a coffee in front of her and start talking about Friday night. Friday night... You see, I had a drink with Sam Friday night. Sam had been worried about me. I don't know why. So we'd arranged a drink in Stoke Newington, where Sam lives. I was late and stressed. I got very drunk and cried. Now Sam wants to know why. In the back of my mind, I know why, but I won't say anything. I won't betray Carla. Carla, who I had seen on the way to the pub. She has a Byzantine-style shoeshine box. I bought it for her to keep her pens and pencils in. She's walking the streets chanting Buddhist mantras, whispering Arabic and Laz curses. I watch her. I call out, but she doesn't hear me. She's on the other side of the rails to the church. She opens the shoeshine box. I stand on her periphery, waiting for a signal to approach. Why can't she see me? She starts taking meat from the shoeshine box. Big slabs of something. They hang gluttonous in either hand. She begins chanting and throws the meat over the fence into the grounds of the church. She's pulling out more and more meat, throwing it over and chanting, singing, cursing. She looks appalled but won't stop. She's pulling out more meat than could possibly fit in the box. Where is it coming from? I walk away, leaving this spectacle behind me. It occurs to me by the time I'm with Sam, it wasn't meat Carla was throwing. It was feet. But Sam hears what I just told you. Because I said it then, just like I said it now. I had betrayed Carla. Carla was out of the bag and there could be no going back. Sam is saying she's worried about me. Why? Why, Sam? I'm the happiest woman you know, with my first and my job in the theatre and working for the charity. Sam tells me I'm having a breakdown. But this is not true. Sam points to the food in the cupboard and asks if this is what Carla needs. I say she likes to be organised. Sam says she's spoken to the literary department where I work. She says their email accounts have been hacked by Carla882000. Their inboxes are full of mass murderers, genocides, holocausts, and all sorts of horror. I tell her I'd know about it. Sam tells me they think it's me. They think it's me. The strangest words I've ever heard. They reach, though. They reach deep down. And they come up true. Sam says she's going to wait with me over the weekend until Carla comes back, and that we're all going to sit down and sort out this mess. I asked Sam to leave, but she says she won't. She says she had a sister who went through something similar. Sam says under no circumstances will she leave me alone. This is ridiculous, Sam. Sam, this is mad. I'm not having a breakdown, Sam. Sam, I'm an ordinary girl. We've been sitting there in silence for hours. Every once in a while, I think Carla is about to walk through the door and I start playing with my hair. Gets to the point I can't stop playing with my hair. I take out some scissors and start cutting my hair. That's when I remember Sam is there. I apologise. Sam takes the scissors and cuts my hair for me. She was a stylist for years before she got in with the charity. "What kind of hair does Carla have?" she asks. I tell her she keeps it short and tidy, but she doesn't wash it every day. And we wait. But there's no sign of Carla. "Can't you call her?" That's what Sam says. I can't call, she doesn't have a phone. "Don't you think that's odd?" says Sam. That's not odd, is it? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, fuck you. Fuck you. You come into my house and cut my hair and tell me it's odd my girlfriend doesn't have a phone. And I'm waving the scissors around and somehow I cut her. Not badly. A little bit. On the top of the hand, the right hand, but it does bleed. Bleeds onto the table, onto her jeans, across the floor and into the sink. Sam is washing away the blood. There's a noise in my head that won't go away. Like a radio that can't find a station. I'm screaming at Sam. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I'm saying nothing. Maybe Sam can hear what's in my head. That was Carla. She says it so simply. And it moves everything back to neutral. All is well for a second. The radio has found its frequency. Oh, thank God you know. That's what I think I say. I'm standing there alone. Sam has walked out the front door. Little by little and piece by piece, our dearest lovers become our worst enemies. Everybody betrays everybody. Friend betrays friend. Even your family betrays you. That's the way it goes. In the end, we're all human. It's part of the deal. We fail each other so badly. Later that night, I'm defriending people on Facebook. I saved Sam until last. I have a look at her profile to see what she's said about me. There isn't anything. Just an article from a local paper in Stokey. I click on it to have a look. It's somebody throwing meat onto the grounds of the church. The picture is bad. It's amateur. I couldn't really know who it is doing the throwing. It's not Carla.
No, it's not me.
She says. She's made me a cup of tea and some tomato soup. It's a lurid red colour that's given me a headache.
It's you.
She says.
Finish your soup and we'll go to the bridge.
That's what she says. And it's so simple. Here in Archway, North London, we have a very famous bridge. A very big bridge, high above a dual carriageway. And we stand there together after eating our red soup. Carla says she was almost ready to show the world how real she was. But in the end, there isn't anything real. Not really. Or, if there is, we don't have access to it. I ask her if walking off the bridge will be real. She says,
It's the most real thing we've ever done.
And we walk off the bridge. I have to choose now, to go on or come back to life. If I go back, I worry that Carla will always be a part of me, pasted to the back of my skull. Life is tempting, isn't it? To be alive has its advantages. But going on might be better for me. There is a light coming. There is a light coming, and I must choose before it is gone. Moving on, or back to life. I must choose. The light tells me to choose.